people, and welcome to this review of the self-titled 10th studio album from groove metal legends Lamb of God. 10th? Really? Have they been around for that long? 10 albums? That doesn't sound right. I guess it is 10 if you include all the Burn the Priest stuff in there too, like... Holy shit. But yeah, Lamb of God, you longtime watchers know that this is a band I fuck with. No joke, I just love this band. I love them, love them, love them, love them. They're probably my favorite modern metal band out there. Well, I hesitate to call them modern now. I mean, they've been around for 10 albums and 26 years? Jesus Christ, I'm old. But yeah, I was definitely looking forward to this one, especially after the monster that was 7 Sturm und Drang. I still feel like I'm mispronouncing that. Am I mispronouncing that? Sturm und Drang? Sturm und Drang? Sturm und Drang? It's been 5 years and it was one of my top albums of 2015. How do I still not know how to say this? That record was an absolute fucking Goliath. Arguably one of the best things they'd ever accomplished. But it was also coming off some really crazy shit as well, the most notable factor being Randy Blythe's arrest and trial for accidental manslaughter in Prague back in 2013. The turmoil the band went through as a result of that, and a lot of other outside factors, served for a lot of harrowing inspiration for that record, but it ended up to help create one of the most domineering and forceful and dreadful and powerful albums that they've ever made. That record is downright chilling in places, but absolutely savage in others. It was brilliant. And while that did make me excited for this record, I also had a case of skeptic's blues, let's call it. I mean, the last record was so good. My biggest question upon hearing they were going to be making another one was, okay, great. How in the hell are you gonna top that? And admittedly, that came into question even greater after the departure of longtime drummer Chris Adler last year. See, Adler, he is an insanely good drummer, and it looks like his departure may also have not been on the friendliest terms, so yeesh, they got a hard record to follow up and some potential internal band turmoil. Is this record gonna be okay? But people, let me just go ahead and reassure you that yeah, this album's okay. It's way, way more than okay. Art Cruz, formerly of Prong, Clogger, and the Rasmus, has stepped into Adler's drum duties, and man, the dude had big shoes to fill as it stands, but he definitely did an excellent job filling them. The beats in groove metal are absolutely essential for building a sonic foundation, and man, Art clearly gets that. His beats are full, focused, and absolutely menacing all throughout. Cruz is actually friends with Adler, so he got a chance to, kind of understand his drum style, and he even got some time to practice with the band proper as Chris's replacement during their last tour. So it's nice to see that not only did they clearly pick the right guy for the job, but that he also got a chance to warm up to the duties before stepping into the studio proper. The other sonic elements here are also absolutely fantastic. Randy's searing vocals and his newfound ability to clean sing, like a little deviation here, but yeah, Randy's clean pipes, yeah, he's no Freddie Mercury, but like, I can dig this. I can totally dig this. I'm totally okay with seeing this every now and again on Lamb of God records now. It's a nice, cool, and interesting touch. I dig it. Again, he's no Freddie Mercury, but the dude's alright. But outside of that, his screams are absolutely top-notch. The dude is one of my favorite screamers in all of metal, and man, he has not lost his touch. Not even a little bit. Even after all these years. Man, that is impressive. Not to mention the additional likes of features brought on from Hatebreed's Jamie Jasta on Poison Dream and Testament's Chuck Billy on Roots they're also nice little additions. I really didn't mind them. They didn't contribute much. They just kind of show up for a few lines and then fuck off. They aren't like big deals or anything, but hey, it doesn't hurt. I'm not angry they're here or anything. You know, it's nice, and the guitar and bass work is as thunderous, riff-heavy, and free-flowing as ever. Man, Marc Morton is just an amazing lead guitarist. I love what this guy does. He has some impressive soloing on this record, make no mistake, but honestly, it isn't that pushes it over the edge for me. It's the little pieces of color and flair that he and Willie Adler lace across the verses and choruses that add that extra oomph to the package. It makes their sound so full. That's always been a huge part of this band's appeal, and my God, they are just so fucking good at it. They have it perfected to a science by this point, and man, is it fun watching them make science happen, dude. It's just, ugh. And honestly, I mean, there's really not too much else I can say about this album. It's another Lamb of God throwdown that absolutely wrecks, and if you're a fan, then yeah, this is the easiest recommendation of the year. Go for it. What are you listening to me for? Go buy it. Just, what do you even do? As a Lamb of God record, this thing kicks. But, here's the thing. The last album did kick harder. Oh, yeah, I was gonna have to get to this uncomfortable point, wasn't I? To put it simply, yeah, for a Lamb of God record, this is really good, but it isn't Sturm und Drang. I don't know, even though I shouldn't compare, I still kinda have to, man, you know? I'd compare albums for any other band, so it's, you know, only fair of me to do that here. And to be completely fair, there are some little nitpicks and gripes that I do have with this album outside of it just not being as good as the previous. It has its issues. For one, the lyrical content, while still very good, isn't quite as sharp as the last record. Also, not a fair comparison. Again, trying to do different things. And it's not even like this is a dull or meaningless album. Not at all. Songs like Reality Bath cover the very real epidemic of school shootings in America. New Colossal Hate and Checkmate cover the current political climate and the unrest in the American psyche. And Memento Mori covers the plague of misinformation and digital detachment that's engulfed most of the world at present. It's not an album that has nothing to say, not at all, and its messages are, in fact, very pertinent. But they're also, like, a little on the vague side. It's a little overgeneralized, is what I'm trying to say. It's not that these aren't important things to talk about, but LOG doesn't exactly, like, tear these issues to ribbons, you know? It's more of a vague and free associative style of lyricism. The context of these tracks are usually vague enough that it could be referring to nearly any kind of strife or struggle. It's hinted at what they're talking about, but never really directly implied. I mean, you know, it's not like I walk into a Lamb of God album asking for Fever 333, but, you know, it's just not as savage. It's not as, like, biting as Lamb of God could be, you know? Not that it isn't completely toothless, but to say a Lamb of God album lacks bite, Ashes of the Wake, this is not. I also have to admit that while the raw instrumentation is very brutal and a lot of the lead work is great, some of the songwriting and song construction is, I don't even want to say sloppy, just not as tight as it could be. It's got infectious hooks that will totally catch your ear, but it's not a record you will have to keep coming back to over and over again. It's infectious enough, just not exceptionally so. Again, it's not, I don't want to paint this like it's a huge step down or anything, but I don't know, you stick a B+ next to an A+, and well, but again, a lot of the issues I do have with this album are mostly because I just have no choice but to compare it to their last record, which was so goddamn good. But a step down, no matter how small, is still a step down. And Sturm und Drang was like the metal album of 2015. It was one of the best albums of the whole year. That's a record I'd recommend to almost anyone. This album, It's very good for a Lamb of God album, and hey, as a Lamb of God fan, I have absolutely no qualms with that. And if you're a Lamb of God fan, a metalhead in general, or just someone looking for some good heavy music this year, hell yeah, I can totally point you in this direction. I enjoyed the hell out of it, and it's still gonna get really high marks out of me. I did really, really like this record. But, again, like, if you aren't, you know, a metalhead or a Lamb of God fan, or if you aren't into heavy music, I suppose you could do better. Look, I'm just saying, if you haven't checked out Sturm und Drang, you know, play catch up, is all I'm saying. Lamb of God gets 4.5 reality baths out of 5. But what did you think? Have you had a chance to spin this record yet? Am I being completely unfair with my comparisons here? I mean, I know I am, but feel free to yell at me in the comments anyway. If you like what you see, feel free to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell while you're at it. In the meantime, though, I'm Crash Thompson, and I'll see you in the next video.
Super special thanks to Brandon Banfield.
Are you enjoying yourselves thus far?